The sun beat long and hot on the sleek black roof of the train. Hills of green flutter by, and then the momentum of the train noticeably slows, followed by the predictable screeching of brakes. In a few short miles, the train will arrive at its next stop, and Moshe needed to be ready to depart. For a long moment, he consulted his notes, then closed the brown leather book and placed it in his day bag. Moshe checked the time on his pocket watch, then took an apple off the shelf, added it to the bag, and then slid a few coins into his pants. Finally, he grasps the simple wooden cane leaning in the corner, slides open the doors of the cabin, and walks towards the main door. As he passes staff members, he calls them by name with a smile and greeting. For a time they were not used to a passenger being so personally familiar with them, but now they have come to respect Moshe and care for his space when he is gone. As he exits the train, the day is neither young nor old. The sun waxes in the sky, and the day's heat is coming into fullness. He takes a moment to look around, and soon finds himself on the street. He sees everything. All of the noise of the city, the smells of the merchants' goods, and the group of bored, troublesome men on the opposite corner of the plaza. Momentarily, he consults his notes again, looks neither away or at the group of young men, and walks toward his destination. His cane lightly touches the ground, but is frequently used for balance or grace. The young men turn to themselves and quickly forget about this new face. He walks for a time, sometimes turning and sometimes continuing straight, until at last he stops. Moshe looks down a dark alleyway and enters. The alleyway has a life all to its own. Unexpectedly, the alley widens, and the space between the buildings allows for the sun to shine. A small patch of dirt fights through the cobbled streets, and flowers grow, and above them they are crowned with fruiting trees. They have the look of being tended after, yet their haphazard placement and growth between the stones seems to suggest otherwise. Moshe stops and breathes in deeply. There is life here, and it shines forth. A smile broadens his face. Mentally he checks his notes, and then sees an unnamed entrance. He ascends the few stairs, but before he can knock, someone calls to him. "Come in," says an unseen elderly voice. "Come in already," quietly repeats the old woman's voice. As he enters, she stops and looks at him, then breaks off abruptly and says, "There is hot tea on the table. Please enjoy." The old lady shuffles around the corner and disappears from view. Moshe replies with common courtesies and finds his way to the seat at the table. Before he touches the drink, an old man appears. Moshe stands in recognition of this older gentleman. He is about a head shorter than Moshe, and bent with age, but eyes wide and kind fill his face. "So, you are here? What is it that brought you here?" says the old man. The old man motions him to sit and enjoy his tea. "But I sent no word. How did you know?" "How often do you think we have someone coming down this small alleyway and smiling at the fruits and flowers?" The old man kindly retorts. Moshe clears his throat. "I am here because I was told that I could learn from you." The old man raises his eyebrow and thinks for a moment. "Maybe, though it depends on you." The old man pauses for a moment. "And on me. And what was it that you wanted to learn?" Moshe takes a moment to respond, but finally says, "In truth, I don't know. But I understand that you are a keeper of the tradition, and there is so much to learn." The keeper of the tradition stood still, and then looked into Moshe's eyes. After a moment, he took a half a step back. In that small space of time, Moshe had never felt so noticed before in his life. Indeed, the keeper was getting a sense of him, who he was, and where he was going. Then the keeper breaks the silence. I have been here for many years, and it has been almost as many since someone asked me this question. The old man takes a moment to think, and finally says, "Well, let me ask you, what do you see?" The keeper cryptically inquired. Moshe breathed several times before responding. "I understand your question to transcend the physical. Therefore, I will not answer with what can be measured. I have for years meditated to try to place the Lord's name before me always." The keeper scratches his chin. This is well known, but seldom used in practice. This is good. Moshe continues, "I feel there is more, but I cannot place it." The old man laughs. "Ha! Place it! That's funny." After a pause, he continues, "But there is more, isn't there?" Yes, the Lord's name is written in fire, or as fire, white fire, written upon black fire. Just as fire has a set place, but always moves and is never defined, so too is the Lord's name written. "Now you have my attention, continue," said the keeper. "Fire is always moving, never staying still. Just as soon as I think I have it understood, it changes shape again." Moshe added, "Okay, yes, continue with this." The keeper guided. "As I see the letters, they are big and small, near and far. The letters fall through each other. Yud falls through Hey, through Vav, through Hey, and then through Yud again. Sometimes it never stops. Sometimes. Other times, when held in place, the fire is steady or changes in brightness. It is like another form of change. But must you always shift perspective? Tell me, Moshe, what happens when you stare at only a letter? Hold that letter in your mind." "I don't know. It is like something without context. Where does it go? Where does it belong?" Moshe's brow furrowed. His eyes turned deeper and deeper inward, and for a long moment he searched his inner thoughts. "I see now, I think. Each letter is a door to the other letters. Behind the Yud is the Hey, and so on. It is not changing. Rather, it is inviting. And that invitation opens a door to what's next." For a moment, the old man appears young and strong. He stands erect and illuminates the room. His vibrancy has the quality of a brilliant sun, only just revealed from parted clouds. "Good, Moshe. Now tell me more." "All of the letters, they are all Yuds in different forms, some elongated and others stretched." Moshe pauses. "It's all just a rearrangement of Yuds." The keeper smiles. "Yes, the information is rearranged. But isn't that everything?" Moshe ponders this for a moment and nods. I need to consider this more." Moshe stammers. The keeper continues, "Pondering is wise. It creates space for thought and generates perspective." The keeper paused for a moment before saying, "There is another, perhaps more mysterious name for you to ponder." Moshe was confused, trying to understand. Finally he spoke. "More mysterious?" How can anything be more mysterious than transcending time and space? The keeper waves his hand back and forth. Time and space is nothing compared with the depth of the human experience. It is mysterious, but it is also the same information, just reorganized. Think to yourself, where did it all begin for us? What was the great mystery that could not be overlooked? Moshe thinks for a moment. So many things are mysterious, but the one that could not be overlooked was the bush. Moshe of old was in amazement at the fire which did not consume, and the bush which did not burn. He was not fooled by his mind to let him think that it was burning. And the name of the Lord there is unique. The keeper beams. Yes, from the first Moshe, the inconsumable fuel. A simple story, so full of mystery. Moshe shakes his head briefly. But what am I to do with this? You must follow this name, said the keeper of the tradition. Where will it take me? Moshe pressed. The old man laughs again. To somewhere you could never have thought. Anyways, how am I supposed to know? Time passes without word, as the two kindred souls relive what countless generations have done before. The passing of knowledge from master to student. An indescribable emotion washes over Moshe, and a tear nearly forms in his eye. Then the feeling clarified. It was the feeling a person has when they are close to a mountain that ends in clouds, or a canyon so deep it has no echo. It is the feeling of proximity to greatness. So small the human is, yet so powerful he can experience it and feel it all. Both humbling and empowering. Then, from around an unseen corner, the keeper's wife calls him to ask for assistance. The keeper turns to Moshe and smiles. Not everything in this life is meant to be so untouchable. I must go now, and so must you. You may write if you'd like, but what we did here today can't be taught in writing. If you do, you must be specific and exact with your words. Moshe smiles while the keeper's wife's voice still echoes in the stone walls. He misses the touch of his wife and her comforting voice. He is about to say something, but the keeper of the tradition speaks first. Now eat something. You need to bring yourself back down. And isn't it so, that what was, was? Remember, it is always important to eat after such work. The keeper cautioned. He is about to say, "Thank you for seeing me." But in a whirl, Moshe is escorted out by the keeper. Courtesies are briefly exchanged to the lady of the house behind the wall enclosing the galley kitchen. Moshe re-enters the alleyway and produces the apple he carried with him from the train and stares at it. He is moved by the beauty of the skin and sees patterns within the coloring that remind him of stars and shells. The whole of existence represented with this apple, and now it supports his slender frame. The juice is rich, and each bite is slowly chewed and enjoyed. He sets his course for the train station and quickens his pace. His feet know their way, and he walks with intention and purpose. He nears the train, and Moshe breathes a sigh of relief when he notices that the young men are nowhere to be seen. This city is ancient and has so many different types of people. Like everywhere else, it has its righteous and its wicked. He sees his train and closes the distance. The train workers are already looking for him and wave him down. He again quickens his step, and as he boards the train, it is already moving. Moshe finds his cabin, removes his bag and shoes, and falls into a deep and restful sleep.